Hello, and welcome to your training. This presentation is designed to inform you of the Philadelphia nutrition standards and what you need to know to implement them in your food service program. This training is designed for kitchen managers and purchasing staff to provide greater understanding for what to consider as part of your purchasing and food preparation decisions. The first part of this training will cover background information on why the Philadelphia nutrition standards are important to providing healthy options to individuals served. Of the 10 largest cities in the United States, Philadelphia has some of the highest rates of poverty and related chronic diseases. Philadelphia has the highest rates of premature death from cardiovascular disease and the second highest rates of adult diabetes prevalence. These issues begin in childhood. Across the nation, 1 in 3 children are at risk of developing diabetes within their lifetime. For African American and Latinx children, that number is 1 in 2. The city of Philadelphia serves nearly 14.5 million meals and snacks to over 207,000 individuals each year. While many agencies follow existing nutrition standards and criteria, they can be inconsistent across programs. Comprehensive nutrition standards reinforce the city's commitment to high-quality care for the people its programs serve. These nutrition standards help to protect people from deadly diseases and help them live long, healthy, and productive lives. The nutrition standards are based on the 2015 to 2020 USDA Dietary Guidelines, the food standards adopted by the federal government and other local governments, and review and feedback from city agencies. As the dietary guidelines and other public health information are updated, the Philadelphia Department of Public Health will make periodic revisions to the standards to ensure they align with the latest dietary guidance. Per Executive Order 414, all city agencies that purchase, serve, sell, or otherwise provide food must follow the Philadelphia nutrition standards. This includes contracted vendors and organizations. Where possible, agencies are encouraged to incorporate non-mandatory best practices for healthy meetings, sustainability, and non-vending concessions. Some examples include correctional facilities, youth detention centers, city-funded after-school and summer programming, shelters, adult care, vending machines on city-owned or leased property. The Philadelphia nutrition standards are broken up into several sections that include required and recommended guidelines. Required standards include guidelines for purchased foods, meals and snacks served, nutrient standards, population-specific standards with exceptions for children, and vending standards for beverages, snacks, and meals. There are also recommended standards for meetings and parties, sustainability guidelines, and public concessions, catering, and special events. Knowledge check. True or false? If a city department is regulated by other nutrition standards, state or federal, it does not have to follow the Philadelphia nutrition standards. The next several slides provide guidance on what to look for when making food purchases. All products must contain 0 grams trans fat and have no partially hydrogenated oils in the ingredients list. Looking at the food label to the left, you can see that this is a 2-part process. 1. The nutrition facts panel should indicate 0 grams trans fat. 2. The ingredient label should not contain any ingredients identified as partially hydrogenated. Why is this so important? Trans fats raise bad cholesterol and lower good cholesterol in the body. This puts us at risk for heart disease. Everyone should aim to consume no artificial trans fats. Always choose products that are labeled low sodium or no salt added if given the choice and it works within your budget. Why is this so important? Consuming foods that are high in sodium can put us at risk for high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. Here's a tip. Draining and rinsing canned vegetables and beans can reduce added sodium by up to 40%. Always choose dairy products, milk or yogurt, that are 1% low fat or non-fat. Why is this so important? Full-fat dairy products are high in saturated fat, which can negatively impact our heart health. When looking at flavored dairy items like yogurts, be careful of those with a lot of added sugar. Aim for those that have less than or equal to 27 grams total sugar per 8-ounce serving. If any single product contains 480 milligrams or more sodium per serving, it does not meet the nutrition standards. Please note, there are several lower sodium standards by individual food category. See the following slides for details. Why is this important? Sodium levels can add up, especially in processed foods. It is important to regulate the amount of sodium intake to reduce our risk for high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. Here is some quick guidance to identify items that meet the Philadelphia nutrition standards and those that may need a closer look. The following products are generally compliant with the standards. Fresh fruit. Lean proteins such as fresh or fresh frozen chicken, turkey, and fish. 100% juice. Whole plain grains such as brown rice, oats, and quinoa. Dried beans. Fruit packed in 100% juice or water rather than syrup. Fresh vegetables. Tofu and low-sodium plant-based proteins, and low-sodium canned goods. The next list of items require more information through reading the nutrition facts panel and ingredient label. Bread and dough, milk and yogurt, frozen vegetables and meats. The last list is made up of products that require a closer look, and considering which individual products of these types may meet the standards. Smoked or processed meats, broth and soup bases, frozen breaded foods, these are usually fried at the factory, canned foods of all types, sauces and condiments, cheese, beverages, cereal, and snacks. Knowledge check. Which of these foods are generally compliant with the Philadelphia nutrition standards? Check all that apply. What needs to be considered when making meat purchases? There are a number of sodium standards specific to different types of meat. All luncheon or deli meats must contain less than or equal to 480 milligrams of sodium per 2-ounce serving. All canned or frozen seafood and poultry must contain less than or equal to 290 milligrams of sodium per serving. All beef, pork, and ground poultry is lean, contains less than or equal to 10% fat by volume. What do you need to know about bread? When considering sliced bread, look for key information in the Nutrition Facts panel and ingredient label. Look at the Nutrition Facts panel on the right-hand side of this slide. This is an example of a sliced bread that meets the nutrition standards. As you can see, this item meets the standards for sodium, fiber, and lists whole wheat flour as the first ingredient. Sliced bread must contain less than or equal to 180 milligrams of sodium per serving, at least 2 grams of fiber per serving, and all flour tortillas and wraps are whole wheat or whole grain rich and contain at least 2 grams fiber per serving. How about canned fruits and vegetables? All canned or frozen vegetables and canned beans must contain less than or equal to 290 milligrams sodium per serving. All canned and frozen fruit should be packed in unsweetened juice or water. No added sugar. Let's talk about cereals. This includes both hot and cold products. All cereal must have less than or equal to 215 milligrams of sodium per serving. All cereal must have less than or equal to 10 grams of sugar per serving. And all cereal must have at least 2 grams of fiber per serving. Now we will walk through how to determine if a snack meets the standards. All snacks must contain less than or equal to 250 calories per serving or per package, excluding nuts and seeds. Less than or equal to 7 grams total fat per serving, except snacks containing only nuts and seeds. 0 grams trans fat per serving, and no partially hydrogenated oils in the ingredients list. Less than or equal to 1 gram saturated fat per serving. Less than or equal to 230 milligrams of sodium per serving. Less than or equal to 18 grams of sugar per serving, except snacks containing only fresh or dried fruit, fresh or dried vegetable, or packaged fruit packed in its own juice or water. Knowledge check. According to the Philadelphia Nutrition Standards, which of these types of food must be whole grain rich, meaning they contain more than or equal to 2 grams of fiber per serving? Check all that apply. The next several slides will discuss how to ensure meals are balanced with all the necessary meal components. For programs serving lunch and dinner meals, make sure there are at least 2 servings fruit and vegetable, at least 1 serving whole grain food per day, at least 1 vegetarian or bean-based entree per week, at most 2 servings luncheon or deli meat per week, at most 2 servings of dessert per week. Here are 2 examples of balanced meals. Lunch: a tuna salad sandwich including 2 slices whole grain bread with 2 ounces tuna, 1 tablespoon mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon chopped celery, half a cup shredded lettuce, and 2 slices tomato. The sandwich is served with 1 medium peach and 1 cup of fat-free milk. For dinner, serve roasted chicken, 2 ounces cooked chicken breast, 1 roasted sweet potato, half a cup of green beans, 1 ounce whole wheat roll, and 1 cup water. Check out this list of healthy and delicious snacks that may be offered as part of your meal program. Smooth peanut butter, 2 tablespoons, with 1 serving whole grain crackers and apple slices. 1 serving apple slices and plain yogurt with a touch of cinnamon for dipping. 1 peach and 1 serving whole grain crackers. Half a tuna sandwich, tuna, 1 ounce, a slice of whole wheat bread with lettuce and tomato. Milk and whole grain cereal with half a cup of fresh berries. Yogurt, 4 ounces, topped with a half a cup of blueberries and served with 1 serving rice cakes. Hummus, 1/4 cup, with pita and 1 serving sliced red peppers. Celery sticks, with unsalted, unsweetened, smooth peanut butter or low-fat cream cheese and no sugar added raisins. Variations of ants on a log. The final section of this training covers meal preparation techniques and overall nutrition requirements. Several techniques are generally recommended given the use of lower sodium broths and little added salt. It is always recommended that steaming, boiling, baking, stewing, braising, and/or poaching are included as part of meal preparation. Stir-frying, sautéing, and roasting are also healthy cooking techniques given the use of little added fat, oil, and salt. However, deep fat frying and pan frying are not healthy cooking techniques and should be avoided. The Culinary Institute of America demonstrates a number of easy ways to develop flavorful dishes while reducing sodium. Please enjoy this video highlighting techniques that may be used in your food service program.
Hi, I'm Brad Barnes, Certified Master Chef and Director of Consulting and Industry Programs at the Culinary Institute of America. We're proud to partner with the National Network of Public Health Institutes to bring you this sodium reduction video series for the professional food services industry. We hope that you find this video educational and that you enjoy the healthy recipes and techniques that we're about to share with you.
Sodium is an essential mineral for a healthy body. It is necessary for proper nerve and muscle function and for the regulation of fluids and acid-base balance. But too much sodium is unhealthy and can lead to high blood pressure and can increase the risk of heart disease, kidney disease, and stroke. Current dietary guidelines recommend that we consume less than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, but most Americans consume much more than the recommended amount. Our goal is to help you improve your culinary techniques while reducing the sodium levels in the food you prepare every day. Almost 75% of Americans' sodium intake comes from processed and prepared foods. To fully understand the amount of sodium in the meals you serve, and to ensure that your customers receive a delicious and healthy product, read the nutrition facts label on the food packages or inquire about the product specifications when ordering. Ready-to-use foods, also known as RTU foods, are processed, pre-made, and packaged products. RTU foods provide convenience, consistency, and help shorten the process of meal preparation, but many RTU products are high in sodium. First, let's identify the sodium content in some common ready-to-use foods. Then we will show you ways to decrease the sodium. Let's take chicken chow mein as an example. The RTU version of this dish is typically very high in sodium. A primary method for decreasing sodium in RTU foods is to add complementing low-sodium ingredients to increase the volume and decrease or distribute the sodium. Complementing ingredients are those that will enhance the dish and blend well with the original flavor profile. For this dish, there are a variety of healthy, low-sodium complementing ingredient options. We are adding shredded Napa cabbage, finely sliced snap peas, fresh baby spinach, shredded carrots, thinly sliced celery, and scallions. Stir-fry these ingredients in sesame oil with minced ginger and garlic. Then add this to your heated chicken chow mein. Our addition of fresh vegetables increases the volume and decreases the amount of sodium per serving by about 20%. Our next example is a ready-to-use pulled pork, which is very high in sodium. We have two great options for reducing the sodium level of this dish. The first is to slightly reduce the portion size from 3 ounces to 2.5 ounces of the pulled pork and serve in mini corn tortillas or on a bed of lettuce. Adding additional fresh toppings like grilled onion, spiced pickled jicama and carrots, okra, or a papaya, mango, and pineapple salsa increase volume, reduce sodium, and build flavor. You could also create a North Carolina vinaigrette-style coleslaw with shredded cabbage, carrots, peppers, and zucchini. The second option is to mix ingredients into the pulled pork. We are adding complementary ingredients: caramelized onions and roasted tomatoes seasoned with spices and fresh herbs. Or you could add roasted or frozen corn with sautéed kale, chopped garlic, and onions. Finishing with fresh diced tomatoes, red onion, and chopped cilantro is another healthy and flavorful choice. All of these options increase volume, reduce sodium content per serving, and add color, texture, and flavor. Now, let's demonstrate these principles in a 2-gallon batch of chicken and vegetable soup using RTU convenience foods and adding low-sodium fresh ingredients. Place a soup pot over medium-high heat. Coat the bottom of the pot with oil, then add onions, carrots, parsnips, and celery. Sweat together, which helps release flavor. Add the chopped garlic and seasonings. Add broth, bay leaves, and thyme. Let the broth heat to a simmer, then add the pre-grilled RTU diced chicken, mixed frozen vegetables, and fresh zucchini. Mix together and heat to a rolling simmer. Hold for service, then drizzle with basil pesto for additional flavor. This simple process of adding low-sodium ingredients to high-sodium RTU foods results in dishes with 20 to 30% reduced sodium levels. Ready-to-use foods provide convenience and consistency in your operations. Consider using some of these tips and techniques to provide your customers with healthier, lower-sodium, more flavorful menu items.
Thank you for watching this episode of our sodium reduction video series. We hope you enjoy using these techniques and healthy recipes.
The final slides in this training provide an overview of the requirements for daily nutrient values by meal. As you will see, calories, sodium, and fiber vary as they relate to who programs serve. Pay close attention to calorie, sodium, and fiber requirements as there is variation dependent on age and program type. For calories and sodium, upper limits are identified. These show the most amounts that menus should contain. For fiber, lower limits are identified. This is the least amount of fiber required. If there are specific questions, please contact the Division of Chronic Disease and Injury Prevention. Here is a breakdown of calorie ranges for adults by meal. Breakfast should contain between 450 to 700 calories. Lunch contains between 540 to 700 calories. Dinner contains between 540 to 700 calories. Knowledge check. What are the key components of any balanced meal? Check all that apply. Thank you for taking the time to learn about the Philadelphia Nutrition Standards and how they fit into your food service program. Please click on the link below to verify your completion of this module.